Hello everyone and welcome to the part 4 playthrough of the Noble Nemesis. Okay, we left off after taking last of the red towns. We didn't fight the main hero of the red player just yet. And at this point I don't really intend to focus on any specific hero. I just want to take over the entire continent as fast as I can. Adrian goes right towards the blue player. And hopefully she'll reach the first town next day, and then I can continue the chain. There is also a brown player to the right side, so I want to use a couple of heroes later to also advance fast on towards that their first, basically closest brown town in that direction. And so that's Dracon, that's why he's there at this point. And we don't miss any opportunities for Tazar to get some boost. He'll need as much attack as possible for the tactic I will be using against the king, so that's why I basically pick attack whenever I can. Okay, town is pretty close. Hopefully there is no blue main, but maybe she's even capable of dealing with it. Enemy heroes, apart from the pink player, are not actually particularly strong, so I'm not very concerned about that at least, and maybe Adrian with her mana could be actually capable of dealing with one. And there we go, we have a mana vortex now to work with. That's very useful. So we won't have to be looking for some magic spring to double the mana. Very, very convenient. So there are a couple of red heroes. Maybe I should send my army to... Yes, so that's what I thought about. So Heartleech will pass army to Dracon to clear those couple of heroes. Maybe I could also use Tazar to do that, and then to push into the blue player with Dracon. That would be an option. It would depend on whether these two heroes are strong or not, I guess. could depend, at least. There is a brown town further to the right side. Okay. Maybe should have killed another one. Okay, I just checked the second hero. I think it makes sense killing both. Chain Lightning would be probably the best spellcast here, and I probably should have cast it on Firebirds, and actually would have cast Fairy Dragons would have attacked someone else, maybe Genies, maybe someone other than them. This way I would be killing 2 units with a single spellcast. Now I basically only disable 1 unit with a spellcast. Well, that's still fine. Worked out well enough. Okay, Pendant of Free Will. I will actually need this thing later. Okay, he actually does retreat. I think a red player may have a conflux in the top left corner at this point, because as you remember I took all 3 stronghold towns. So if he didn't have any other town, he would actually not be trying to retreat like he does here. I don't have enough damage to deal with him. I think a haste is the best cast. Maybe if I had a secondary hero here to offload one of the units, I would take away the Fairy Dragons and split Hydras maybe. Ideally, I could also try to get a good spellcast with enchanters like Haste or Bless. Okay, I'm not sure. Probably I'm not making it here. That's fine. I will send Tazar towards the next blue town, but without an army. He doesn't really need it there. So I want to put him far enough so that he would be able to reach the second town next day. Maybe stay here so that I could visit this plus 600 boost next day. And maybe Drakon can also steal the brown town. That's basically is the idea. He's pretty close to it though. At this point it depends if there is a main hero of the brown player nearby, or like able to town portal. Okay. Some brown hero, not far from one of strongholds, the top one. Okay, it's pretty weak. Okay, so to clarify why I did not attack into the brown with Drakon is that it turned out that the main hero is actually in that town, as I said. That's why I brought him back. Well, not because of that necessarily, but because he just cannot take the castle, and I could use him here to deal with this fella instead. Okay, now some decent artifacts actually. Pendant of Dispassion may be useful if an enemy has Berserk, obviously. a decent helmet. There are not many not many helmets that you wanna have in a combat, really. Like, normally helmets give you knowledge, and you don't care about knowledge when you fight. So you actually can really want to have a helmet either as a part of a set item, like here, like Armor of the Damned, for example, but also a helmet that gives you something. So basically, ideally, that's Heavenly Enlightenment, whatever the thing, that +6 helmet, the best basically item in the game, you could say. Well, if you don't count set items, at least. Okay, I wonder, maybe he actually doesn't reach. Maybe he should reach, actually. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Okay. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a main hero. That would simplify things a little bit. Now, the remaining town has like a couple heroes nearby, and it's quite likely that one of them is a main hero, so it would be a little bit more dangerous. I killed Minotaurs with Fairy Dragons because I expected Angels and Scorpicores to fly out, and Minotaurs would be likely to stay behind the gates, so just a minor difference there. But probably would not matter, because I have plenty of flyers. And basically, Angels hit a miss morale there. So there are even 3 blue heroes. Another town is Mana Vortex. Now that Teal player is gone, I actually can hire Bidley, the hero I need for the quest chain. Okay, actually, Hermes Shack is a nice thing to visit with Stig there. Okay, so solid reinforcements we seem to have here. Okay, we got around 30 Archdevils. It's not bad, but nothing to really to be happy about. it's not gonna make much of a difference, unfortunately. So these two fellas, the Bidley and Tark, they probably don't have summon boat. So I brought him here to actually serve them. Finally combine artifacts in a single hero, like better ones. Maybe also pass morale and luck boosts as well. Maybe luck is not necessary because Tazar has a skill, so but some morale boosts won't hurt. Okay, so I will send Adrian to hopefully later send her into the brown. Okay, there was one blue hero behind, hiding in a corner, so came out. Okay, that's for some quests. That Tark and Bidley will have to hand in. Stig is out of mana, unfortunately. There was a magic well actually next to the town where she ended her turn. Now it's Tark's turn, and he will hand in remaining quests. Okay, just wanna deal with this hero behind. Oh man, it's Morales actually. Okay, maybe unable to kill him. Unless I re-equip something. And also Gorgon Sam is placed. Yeah, I think it makes sense, more sense like this. Gorgons can take care of rust dragons. I have a few components of the Legion statue. I think I'm missing a head at this point. Okay, there are 4 heroes now. Crazy, and all of them are bunched up around the town. Pretty funny. So I don't want to scare them too much. Tazar will not be carrying army with him for now. And he's far enough. He's sitting on a watering place. Should be safe. Okay, move Adrian forward. No brown heroes. Too close. Unfortunately, I would want Heart to be on her watering place, on the one that she is right now. So, okay, so I decide to wait one day, I guess, before I do that. Because Heart doesn't reach, and even if I would be ready to bring army to Heart, he wouldn't be able to reach Adrian, so there is really no point in moving her forward there. There we go. Okay, hopefully we'll fight a blue main hero at this point. So there are two heroes in a town, as far as I can tell. Okay, not main is not here. Could be below. But Tazar still has plenty of movement points after 2 fights here, so Teal could reach him. Engineers, I mean, there are 3 stacks that could be killed by this. Okay, chain lightning would be pretty funny there. And I have a pendant of holiness. Maybe it's not the first one though. The best artifact in game. You will see. Maybe you will see, I don't know. Actually, maybe... I'm not sure I will use it. I may. That's gonna humor you, maybe. But I actually may use this artifact later. Okay, let's see what this blue hero is, and that's main blue hero. Just check if there are any blue towns. There is a red town I mentioned, and it's about to be taken by the pink, seemingly. So blue will probably not try to escape. Okay, I don't have a good items for my arms, unfortunately. Also gotta fix it next time. And this starts, look at this, like beautifully with a step of 5, 35, 30, 25, 20. That's pretty funny. As if done so by design. Okay. So, I think she has a blind immunity. Too bad for her, she doesn't have immunity against hypnotize. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh my goodness, this green dragons just killing me. Killing me with humor. So, since she doesn't have an incentive to flee, because she doesn't have towns, I could use Harpies ability to attack without retaliation and just slowly grind them down with fairy dragons at this point. Grind them down to 30. At which point I could hypnotize them, and that will be end of the fight, basically. It would be a little bit more difficult, maybe, if she didn't have harpies. I could use one of her shooters the same way, because effectively they also attack without retaliation. And if she had neither, it can be a little bit more tricky, but obviously still not impossible to get a nice target for the hypnotize. Also kinda could do some melee damage there with my lizards, and with luck they actually brought harpies down just enough for the hypnotize. Okay, now basically that's over. Just resurrect whatever was killed. Could have enough. Well, maybe close enough, close to not having enough actually. Have just 5 resurrects left. That's 3 on lizards, 2 on flies, and basically I need at least 1 on wyverns and 1 on gorgons. And I should be raising gorgons and lizards here, first and foremost. Okay, 3 gorgons maybe it's fine, but should raise lizards for sure. And now in hindsight I probably would have raised gorgons. That's fine. 3 gorgons is not critical. Okay. I didn't expect actually her to deal enough damage to the effect that I actually ran out of mana there. That's not a very strong hero. Okay, I was hoping maybe he could deal with this blue hero, but I guess he might not be able to. I should have Stig in one of Cove Towns. She could do that. And she also doesn't really need to bring army. And she can pass an Admiral's hat, which is a very good thing. Now with this hat I could actually visit some places with Tazar, but at first I think it's better to just finish the towns on the northern continent. Just 3 towns left, all belonging to brown player. Okay, stats are pretty unimpressive for them. So I want to do what I mentioned before. I want to basically take the town with Adrian, while it doesn't have a main hero inside. Okay, I didn't pass the Admiral's hat yet, but I should do that next turn. And probably it's not even... I won't need it for at least a couple, maybe like 3 to 4 days. Okay, got some army there. Too bad it won't help him. Oh man, he has a teleport. Okay, blue is done. That's nice. It would be a little bit sad if red is gonna be gone before I beat Crag Hack. I really prefer that would not happen. My kingdom strength is the weakest. Okay, that's... I mean... just kind of out of curiosity, if my army strength was better than blue ones or not. Like, Mutare's army was not very strong, I think. Or was it? She had 80 dragons. I have like around 130 hydras, so at least I think I have an upper hand in tier 7. I have relatively few Vyrons, I think it's 150, but she also had not many more than that. Of Scorpicors, I think like 160. And I'm pretty sure I have more Gorgons. I have 300 and something, and she had 260 Minotaurs. So what? All of that advantage, she basically... that's assuming that her army strength was bigger than mine, which I'm not sure. Maybe it wasn't. But I feel like I should have had a better army. All she had is basically Medusas. I don't have Basilisks, so that's where I'm losing heavily, but shouldn't be anywhere near enough to... I mean, probably like... Okay, so there is a AI value parameter, and I think Hydras probably have a very low AI value among tier 7s. So I could see theoretically that actually AI value in tier 7 is pretty close, even though I have like almost double the unit. I don't know. I don't remember, but I checked a few times outside of recording the armor strength, and I was actually very much surprised that even after I got all these Hydras, 50 Hydras as you remember from the quest, and I upgraded them, even at that point I was still dead last in the army, so that's kind of something of an unexpected thing, to be fair. Blue one definitely did not seem like a stronger army, but could be that AI value is kind of a little bit of skewed in Dungeon's favor. There is a hero in Garrison, and that's not a main hero. Maybe even two heroes, actually. Yeah. Oh wow, okay, that's a... Wait, so he cast Dispel on Hydras who only had stone skin on them. Is that what happened? Am I crazy? And he had implosion as well. Okay, buddy. That's funny. Dispel on a 3-turn stone skin. Man. You'll never tire to surprise me, buddy. Okay, it's time to have a talk with a main brown Betty, who happens to be a Daremyth for whatever reason. Daremyth. That's pretty funny. Et voila. Well, let's see. Army definitely did not look very strong. She has 158 Juggernaut. So that one is actually seems like pretty strong army. Okay, this one is I can see that why game thinks that this is a stronger army than mine. Okay, just kill engineers first before you target mechanicals. Okay, that's a bit of a painful thing to happen. Okay, maybe just leave worms to kill on the next turn. Maybe can do now, I guess. I would put dragonflies back one step though. Current position is kind of, unless I want to move wyverns there, I don't quite understand why I leave a big spot there. Maybe I don't expect. I mean, she could maybe cure and fly in with squattles potentially. Okay, there is a nice place for hydras to hit. And juggernauts will have to be dealt with basically. Okay, she cast fire shield, but she forgot that I have dragonflies. Very naive. So it could be over. Yeah, it should be over. Nice and easy. Okay, and I don't think I should have trouble resurrecting everything. Should focus on gorgons and hydras. Okay, now brown is almost dead. It has a couple of towns, but nothing in terms of army. Gothron. Crazy. And King is actually way ahead in terms of stats at this point. 66, 56. So he was fairly low for some time. And then he blew up, basically, in stats. I didn't see the moment, and well, at some point I was ahead in stats, even, surprisingly. And now I'm behind, like, by 30. And that's about, talking about attack and defense. His knowledge is 99, so that's also a problem, because my intended tactic actually prefers him to run out of mana, or even needs him to run out of mana. So with the amount of mana he has, that's actually gonna be a problem. And I have a nice Iron Fist now. Iron Fist is actually I think is a better artifact than Armor of the Damned. It's kind of more useful. So I in the previous part I think I said that Armor of the Damned is, I didn't say it like exactly like this, but I would say that it is like it suffers from a win more condition, so it doesn't really give you much of an advantage apart from maybe like a couple of scenarios. And in general it just makes easy things easier. I forgot to mention one case though when it could be helpful, although in these situations I would prefer to have an Iron Fist. And I mentioned that it's useful in the anti-magic garrisons, and in this situation it's probably the best possible artifact to equip most of the time. Oh, there is a red hero angling at my town. Oh, and that's a Crag Hack, actually, main red hero. Okay. And Dracon is about to get murdered, I guess. Oh, maybe I can build an escape, whatever thing, so that I could at least retreat. That would be not bad. And back to the basically Iron Fist versus Armor of the Damned topic. So there is another case, I think, where one of them might be crucial, and that's there are some fights that can be relatively easily done if you can cast haste and slow very fast, basically in single turn. And namely, there is, like, just to give you an example, so let's say you have an Orb of Vulnerability and you attack a bajillion of Azure Dragons. And you have something like maybe like a good shooter, maybe something that you could use against Azures to kill. And you have to have an ammo card, so you wouldn't be able to bring your own Azure Dragons. And in this case, you would be able to win this fight if you could apply haste, slow, and force field before they get to you. Now that I explained it, I think you still can do that. I think... Okay, I forgot to build this thing there. I mean, probably I gave not a very good example, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Just kind of an exactly right example escapes me at this moment. Okay, I wouldn't do that. Implosion on fairy dragons could actually kill my own dragon there. Chain lightning would be safer. Maybe casting chain lightning on fairy dragon makes sense. A bit risky, but at least if it fails, it doesn't murder me. That's fine. I don't really rely on this spell dealing any damage. Just doing it out of spite. Okay, so I don't know. I just want to wrap up the topic about Armor of the Damned versus Iron Fist. So, example is not exactly right. Sometimes... Okay, so maybe a bit better example. Now, let's say you play Demon Farming or maybe Fangarm Farming, if you like that. And you have built a huge Fangarm army or Demon army. And you attack an enemy that you can overwhelm. So you have like 6 stacks of Fangarms or demons. But in order to overwhelm him, your enemy, fast, you need to cast haste on your units, right? To be able to reach the enemy. And also he might have fast units like dragons or some other units. So you would need to also slow them down. And basically you need to do that on turn 1. So in this situation, having either Iron Fist or Armor of the Damned is pretty good. Although in this situation, Iron Fist is a little bit better because it boosts your attack with Bloodlust, and you normally also have Earth magic. You might not have air magic to cast Mass Haste yourself. So in that sense, it's a decent option occasionally to have this Armor of the Damned, but still suboptimal somewhat. And we'll close this topic. Hopefully it makes some sense. Okay, Red Army actually did not seem that big to me, and for some reason he also is considered stronger. Well, we'll see. I think we are about to fight. So I just basically am checking from where I wanna be attacking him. He has under 100 of behemoths, for example. And behemoths, unlike black dragons, they actually have a relatively low AI value, I think. Should be pretty close to Hydras. Take a couple of cards or quattles to avoid penalty. Stick doesn't have pathfinding. I have a bunch of boars, so I maybe wanna trade them in to get a bunch more gorgons. Okay. Now what am I supposed to be running after? All those red heroes? That's annoying. Maybe he'll attack me? I don't know. I think there was a pink hero in left top corner, so he might actually have already taken the conflux from the red. So if that is true, red will be left without a town, and it may force him to attack me. That'd be good. I need someone to pass army to her, if that's true. And ideally I also want green boots for her, because she doesn't have pathfinding. There is a road though, so maybe she can get to a road and... oh no, it wasn't a road, but there is a road anyway. Okay, she does reach. And I may be able to finish the brown here, possibly. Interesting Juggernaut split. I don't know if I ever saw something like this. Why would AI do that? Yeah, I actually sometimes forget that these fellas have a retaliation against ranged attacks. Although maybe I did attack them intentionally here. Top left corner is actually what, the brown town? No, I thought it's pink. It looks like it's brown now. Okay, red's still... well, I mean, I didn't fight him yet, so obviously it didn't change. That's a pretty strategically well-placed town, by the way. We'll be using it a lot. It has an oasis next, it has water next to oasis, even better. And it is, in general, kind of pretty well-placed. So how is this army stronger than mine? Can anyone explain? Maybe like ogre mages? Are they this strong? I just don't quite get it. I think he has blind immunity, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I do remember that. Okay, Behemoth dealt a lot of damage. Okay, 28 Wyrens with 75 Behemoths. Crazy, crazy, dude. I mean, to be honest. Okay, maybe I could have hit 3 targets, but maybe it's... These 3 targets might be worse than hitting ogres and birds. That's fair. Okay, actually, I wanna hypnotize orcs, I guess, at this point. So I don't want to be blocking them. And unfortunately, my dragonflies actually block them. I wanna work on orcs a little bit. Why don't I kill Cyclops? I guess I want... I see why. I still have an arrow, a tower. Okay, actually do that. Well, I need to be... okay, I mean, I didn't break his catapult, so that's fine, yeah, okay, good. I didn't have to break walls with my earthquake. If that was the case, I would have to probably delay killing Cyclops. And that's a pretty funny fight, as you were able to observe how pathetic behemoths were, actually. I didn't expect them to hit this weak, even with misfortune. Frankly, that's completely pathetic. Like, they killed 28 Wyverns, just to reflect on that, so that would be like 56, give or take, without misfortune. 56, and that's 75 behemoths, so that's not terrible. But also, given their ability to reduce defense, they should be killing more. But they did not, and primary reason is probably because it's Tazar. It's an armorer specialist. His specialty right now is probably around 35% armorer damage reduction, maybe even 40. It's not crazy, but it's not bad. It's more efficient than shield, for example, and shield is undoubtedly a very strong defensive spell. Okay, haste, unfortunately, these clovers prevent haste from being useful. Very intriguing fight, you can tell. I'm trying very hard to give you as many nail-biting experiences as I can. Even now, when Tazar is ruling the world, basically, I still managed to bring you some excitement. Okay, finally, this windmill started working for me. Okay, so basically at this point we dealt with everyone except for the pink, obviously. So every threatening hero of red and brown is gone, so I should start preparing to confront the king, basically. And as I mentioned, I will need a lot of mana, and well, I would need higher stats in general to do that. I generally don't like when I have to basically focus on boosting my stats more or less, but that's not too bad. It's fine. As long as I at least boost my stats, don't just skip days, it's acceptable. Even if not ideal. But I don't know, I don't say it's even necessary. Maybe someone can do the same without with less preparation. So at this point I will want to visit all libraries of enlightenment and boost my knowledge and attack and defense, primarily attack. I put fairies next to lizard warriors to basically make weaker gold dragon stacks attack fairies when they are a bit too scared to attack lizard warriors, and because they still want to block a shooter. So now I put my fairies between my shooters. This way they can hit them when they switch the blocked target. Okay, this time they actually attacked the lizard warriors, but it was too late. So that's my first point of interest. There is a Library of Enlightenment here, and there is a rampart town. A town with a treasury, and while I won't be able to benefit much from the treasury, I will still get some value. That's a town with a nicely placed stables, actually. So I scanned basically every town there to see where would the best stables would be, and this was the one. So I'm short head of Legion, as you can see. I could have distributed Legion parts a little bit better. So, for example, legs would be best to use in my own, in fortress towns. They'd give, I think, 5 lizard warriors weekly, so that's not bad actually. Of course, considering that I am stuck with lizard warriors. Okay, some other stacks. I mean, like in hindsight, it's fine to have arms in cove towns. I will use sorceresses, but also fortress is a fairly decent candidate. Gorgons are pretty good, like in general. Preparing to fight the king. Of all stats, the most important, I mean, spell power is least important. And defense, I would say, is second. So, attack and knowledge, basically, are the most important stats for Tazar at this point. Okay, there is one red hero next to one of strongholds. And I think pink hero was not far from from Necropolis in the underground. I mean, the hero was on the surface, but not far from the underground entrance. I'm maybe scanning for this hero actually at this point. I'm not sure. Yeah, as you can see, there is a pink hero. It's a weak hero. Still, I don't want to let him at least capture a town. That would be terrible. Especially Necropolis towns are the worst because they're on cursed ground and they don't. They aren't gonna be useful even to fight the king, for example. That's a bit painful, but that's an easy fight. Can do whatever I want, really. Okay, treasury will bring me some money, at least. Having that in mind, obviously, I still wanna be spending money, but now I will try to time this to at least day 1. Maybe I will even delay like another week or 2 before I spend money. Okay, let's get rid of the red hero before we do anything else. Yeah, Iron Fist of the Ogre is obviously a better choice if you aim at quick victory against enemy. Actually didn't check if still he has or doesn't have a Conflux in the corner. Now basically Tazar, I'll try to speed up his boosting. So he's gonna go visit libraries as soon as I get access to them. I don't want to set up for a breath attack. I wasn't concerned that they will hit Hydras and Dragonflies. That would be very unlike AI to do that. So Phoenixes would have perished, and they don't block shooters, and kind of two reasons why AI would be extremely unlikely to do that. Okay, I actually messed up. I want her to stay in the town and restore mana. That's interesting. He stayed on the island. Seems like this red hero might have been scared, maybe of this fella. I would also be scared, if I'm honest. Wow, a fire shield on friggin' marksman. I don't remember if I have Shackles of War at this point. So naturally I don't want to let him go. I'm not sure I have enough damage to force it though, but maybe he's actually not gonna even try. Yeah, this fire shield is worse, but okay, I didn't actually even attack with dragonflies. I could have attacked with dragonflies to remove the fire shield as well. It's very easy to forget about this extremely useful feature of dragonflies. Could have done Bless maybe one turn earlier to make this process a little bit faster. Okay, that's dangerous actually, maybe should blind. need to dispel these fellas. Or maybe I can just wait out the fire shield. Also an option. Basically just reblind maybe a couple turns later, maybe just now. Wait out fire shield and then destroy them. The way I did it might have been a little bit dangerous, so I had to kill them the same turn, obviously. And it was fairly close. To be safe, you would probably just reblind and wait out the fire shield. I can actually get rid of luck boosting items from Tazar because he has the skill. So it's very unlikely I would need to boost his luck. So I could actually get rid of like Lady Bird of Luck and Clover, whatever he might have. Free up a little bit of space. So I guess Stig is gonna go and take Dwellings. That was one of my goals at this stage. There are a few Gorgon and Hydra Dwellings. And I think it was more or less wasted time at this point. I'm not sure if it's what you say, if it's a spoiler or not, but neither Gorgons nor Hydras will play a major role from now on. Still, I mean, it's not a big problem because Tazar is just not yet ready. By the way, another objective, probably the place where I sent, I think, Adrian, is a Conflux town. I actually mentioned it before. And this Conflux town has a Grail, and next to it there is a Warlock's lab, so I will be using this lab to basically make sure that I can get as much stat boosts as I can with my resources, and therefore I actually want to collect whatever luxury resources I can with my heroes. Okay, so I guess I will send him to get some dwellings there. So one small improvement maybe, I do spend time visiting derricks and water mills. At this stage probably not worth it. So I could have just skipped those. They always give 1000 gold except for the week one. And like 1000 gold is nice in the beginning, but at this point it's just not something that provides much value. So I should probably focus on luxury resources. Even could skip like wood warehouses and ore warehouses for the same reason, more or less. In general, if I were to fight more heroes apart from the king, obviously getting my army bigger could be more important than it is in reality. So these Gorgons might have played a significant role. And also one other thing, maybe, well, it's inconsequential at this point, but in general could be useful to you. Although I'm not 100% sure, so maybe it's worth testing it. So Tazar right now has 3 cards of ore, infinite ore or whatever, inexhaustible. The artifact that gives you 1 ore every day. And he has 3 equipped, and I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that they actually do not yield 3 ore this way. I think you need to have them split among different heroes to have them yield resources. And I think the same goes for other resource items, for the rings, for the mercury vials. So you'd want to kind of manage them a little bit. One other example of such artifacts is, for example, or maybe a couple examples. I do remember there was one that actually stacks with itself. I think it's I don't remember exact name. That's a dragon ring that gives attack and defense. I think this one actually stacks. So if you have 2 of the same, they'll give you 2 attack and 2 defense. But for example, the ring that gives you +1 morale and +1 luck, if you equip 2 of them, you only get 1 morale and 1 luck. Basically, same goes for generic, for the misc, the pocket, morale, and luck boosts like cards of prophecy, ladybird of luck, etc. These also do not give you stacking bonus. And same goes for Wizard Well components, the ones that restore you a little bit of mana. So if you have like a 2-3 Mystic Orbs of mana, you could think that they will restore you 7 to 10 mana if you equip together, but they actually don't stack as well. You may know this, but just so that it's could be a little bit unexpected. Ideally, you'd want to build this Conflux Town up, at least Mage Guild, because it actually doesn't give you any spells until you build the Mage Guild. And if you build it fully, you'll get basically all available spells on the map. It excludes like a few spells like Fly, Dimension Door, maybe Town Portal, maybe like 1 or 2 others. I remember that there are not many spells that are disabled here, so the Grail will give you actually a surprisingly many spells. I mean, could give you. Obviously, you could teach them, learn them by other means. Another gold dragon? No, thank you. I also want to keep some easy experience fights like those behemoths for Tazar. Every level he gets, he becomes a little bit tougher. Okay, so oh my goodness, again this quicksand thing. So I don't end up going for a quick kill. Realizing full well that it's not gonna work. So maybe I wanna keep birds for the last. I may have gotten away without a blind there, but I really didn't know. Maybe my Hydras would get stuck somewhere, or Gorgons. So I may have been one hit short because of some quicksand. I could send her to stables, actually. Not a terrible idea. It is at day 7, so stables would be a not a terrible choice. Okay, month 5. Okay, they space out a bit awkwardly. For some reason. Okay, she goes to take Forbidden Palace, I think. That's a devil. dwelling. This whirlpool is close to a couple of libraries, so that's probably a next location for me. And I can afford a few knowledge points here, so I didn't give my treasury more than like 1 week time to work. Also, I don't want to over buff my knowledge, really. I want to get it to 99 with all the buffs. Also, considering that I will still visit a few libraries, I can boost my knowledge with items and do many things, really. And here Tazar will actually head towards the whirlpool. This oasis is perfect, and he ends his turn like at the perfect place to visit the oasis next day. Okay, red is gone and brown is gone, so basically that's about it, I think. Only pink is left to deal with. Forgot about this dwelling, also a good number of gorgons there. Okay, it's tempting to take the lighthouse first. A little bit of an extra movement spent, but it will pay back. Okay, that's a weird split actually. Maybe it's not. Okay, so that's fine. I could maybe just go with an Iron Fist of the Ogre and a couple of Hydra stacks instead. But this way also worked, so it's fine, I guess. Okay, nice. Another counting the Gorgon dwelling that I forgot to hire Gorgons from. The one to the east from my second town. I actually collected 100 of those. That's pretty good. But basically a third more than I have right now. That's very solid. Okay, there is a Hydra dwelling, I think, somewhere. Or maybe... not sure. Honestly, I did not really pay too much attention to what I'm doing with other heroes. Kind of had a general understanding of what I want to do, but didn't really consider many options. And honestly didn't pay much attention to how well I do that. Okay, there is a pink hero actually next to my... Okay. So if Tazar was ready, that would be ideal place. Ideal time to fight him. So I would bring Tazar there and move him outside somewhere. Ideally far enough for the king to be unable to reach, and hopefully he would take the town and stay there. I didn't manage to get on a boat. Oh, I actually did. Okay. Nice catch there with a slightly obscure, I guess, landing spot or embarking spot, you could say. Another extremely interesting fight. Well, maybe not that interesting. Oh, actually. Yeah, I messed up here. They're spreading a little bit too wide. So this was a nice correction there. So I wanted to make sure that they are still close enough to me. It doesn't matter. Could use mysticism for all I know, just because of the regeneration. Since it's not like it's just a secondary hero. Even tertiary, I don't care much, and he wouldn't provide value with either of those two skills. It's pretty funny battlefield when you get one like this. Enemies always start running back and forth. That's kind of pretty hilarious. So I guess I checked if there are any pink heroes next to the town I wanted to garrison Andal in, so just to avoid potential problems. He has a few items, I probably wouldn't want to lose them. Ah, it's a decent hero. Doesn't have Earth, but has an empty skill slot, so ideally you could put Earth there and it becomes a solid hero. Very high mobility, very decent skills in general. So maybe I should join lizards into a single stack. I just keep forgetting. I already said it, but damn, I hate fighting Quattles. Their special ability is annoying. Maybe send Hydras right away. They'll take a few hits, and okay, yeah. Well, it's fine. Actually, they killed just a single Gorgon, that's kind of funny. And I don't know whose fault it is. It's either Tozar is too strong or Coatls are actually very weak. Actually, like Azure Dragons in just these numbers, it's very rare that you can assemble a large army of them. Obviously, if you can, they're very strong, but more often than not, you get to have just a few, and that's okay. They provide a very high value. In small numbers as well. Okay, someone already was there. I think I didn't just realize that there was no green key guard or whatever, green guard. Lost a little bit of time there. Those dragons guard something, I remember that, but okay, they guard nothing that I want. I'm not sure actually what this red observatory is supposed to show. Maybe Pink's town, pretty close to the southwest from here, but so ideally you'd want to have Pegasi built here, but you don't have to build them very early. Probably shouldn't even bother with boars at this point. I need 560 for the next quest, and that's gonna take like more than a couple of months to get. Maybe not more, but like very close at least. Yeah, the king didn't want to take my town. He probably thinks that it's not the king's business to fight some rebels. And maybe he'll send one of his lieutenants to do that. Okay, there is this necklace. And it's behind the ghost dragons. Which I don't see. Maybe I do see them. They're quite nicely camouflaged there. Pretty funny. Okay, that's +3 knowledge when I need to boost my mana. That's pretty good. Basically the best you can get in that sense. Okay, a bit more of a boost there. Okay, a couple of devil dwellings. I think that's basically it. There are way more of Hydra dwellings, for example, on the map. There are like 7, I think. Pretty crazy. Just 2 devil dwellings. Okay, I guess my brain is turned out off or something. Could have won a bunch of fights with just quick combat. Okay, maybe the last one was too much and I just realized how stupid it was. So maybe I'll do a little bit of a better job from now on. Who knows? Okay, I always forget building up my towns in the end game. Okay, I kept dragons close intentionally just to make sure that wyverns don't wait and attack me. And I mean, it was pretty obvious that dragons should survive without losses. There is a pink hero, not far. Maybe we can beat him up, or her, I don't know. Whichever it is. Okay, there is a tree. It would be nice to visit it. I don't leave trees unvisited at this point because I just don't want to delay too much, so okay, it's not too bad, but again, just nothing basically level 7 except for a dragon. And Tazar stats are actually getting quite a bit better. Okay, he has a Cape of Silence. Okay, that's a bit annoying. Can't hypnotize his dragon. So maybe I will either use Iron Fist of the Ogre or maybe just equip items for maximum stats. Since Armor of the Damned is basically garbage if you have a Cape of Silence. So maybe I will hypnotize Nagas. They have no retaliation. So I just want to make sure that I don't accidentally kill all of them. At the same time, I don't want to leave them unscathed because they're very strong. Oh wow, that's basically perfect. Maybe I could as well work on Zealots if Hydra hit, I mean not Hydra, the Naga hit wasn't as spectacular. Okay, it should be done. Okay, I need to kill Pegasi first, because they have higher speed. Then Wyverns. Not too bad. But also an easy fight for Tazar. Cape of Silence is a nice artifact. Very situational. But sometimes it can be game saving. Okay. Fortunately he fled. Potentially with some artifacts. And I won't be able to hire him. I think it was one of castle classes, I'm not sure. Didn't pay attention. So apparently he got away with some items. It's a bit of a pain. He might have had some nice artifacts that I would maybe like to have. But at this point I think I know what I want to do with the king. And I don't think he could have had anything that could be useful. At this point, basically all I might be missing, even not necessarily am missing, is an Armageddon's Blade. I think Armageddon's Blade is the last piece, basically, and he didn't have it, most definitely. And Armageddon's Blade is a really nice thing. Most of all, I wanted not even for this game, more or less, but I planned, and I did it actually, for the last part, so make sure to watch it. But I did two fights against, two successful fights against the king, one with basically his intended state in my, not intended, okay, with his state in my game, as he was. And the second fight was after giving him a power of the dragon. So the way he is intended, or was later changed. So, and I would need an Armageddon's Blade for that, to fight him when he has a power of the dragon. Most importantly, to give me an immunity to Armageddon. That's kind of the biggest problem when you fight power of the dragon wielders. So, in general, I don't want to be killing too many pink heroes, to be honest. I want to let them go around the map. And that's because I want them to actually, at some point, take one of my towns. So... one way, maybe, I could just attack ping home, basically. Maybe it would have worked as well. I didn't really entertain this option, but definitely should work as well. Actually, not all pieces are in place yet, I think. There are a few, maybe a couple of utopias on the map. Yeah, I sent dragons there as a bait. Just to make sure that Quattles don't go forward, and they would not be able to reach my other units in 2 turns this way. And I wouldn't have to resurrect anyone. They probably wouldn't be able to kill the dragon. But again, so there are a few, like a couple of dragon utopias and a small number of sea temples. That's basically a sea version of utopia, which have decent artifacts, let's say. So there is one that has an orb of vulnerability. I won't be using the orb. I think it's boring to use orb to counter Sleepkeeper on the supposed end boss, so final boss. Basically making him vulnerable to a blind, and that's I don't want to do that. It makes this fight a little bit less fun. Okay, this fight is, however, extremely fun, as you can just see. I wonder if I will maybe do... Okay, dude. Could have hit second time. 2 times already. Okay. At least I didn't do kiting for 5 more turns. That was improvement. So there are a few more artifacts. I don't exactly remember which one. So I think there was an Titan's Gladius in one of the sea temples. It's basically the best artifact I can hope for my right hand. That's best attack I can get. And I will need the best attack I can get against King. What else? Don't remember any other artifacts. There were maybe a couple more. No earth magic. Yikes. So maybe if I really wanted to make this new hero somewhat useful, I could find the town gate, move him to... I think it would be a 3rd necropolis, and there was a witch hut with earth magic skill. And then maybe move her to a couple of hermit shacks I found around the map to make earth magic basically an expert. Okay, this fella doesn't have wisdom, so he wouldn't be able to town portal. He still can collect some resources for me. If not for wisdom, his skills are pretty good. There is a boar glen. It's not flagged though, so I wouldn't be getting lots of value from it. And actually I don't think I saw it when I played this map. I think I just now noticed it first. And that's quest chain, the one that gives skills for resources, and I boosted some for relatively cheap. Now the remaining repeated quest is a bit expensive, but I still will be using it, so I will want to use stick to trade some resources at Warlock's Lab. Well, I don't think I can convert more than... I don't get to do it more than 3 times, having a price of 25 per one. Just shy in resources to get 4th. Anyway folks, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Please leave your comments below. Next part is gonna be the final boss. Hopefully you will enjoy it. Please tune back in. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.